All right, so we're back. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. Modern technology is great, except for when except for when it malfunctions a little bit. I had some internet problems at the house. Accidentally, had a little issue here, but we're back. So hey, you know what? At least our teams aren't having malfunctions, right, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no setbacks for them.
Yeah. So.
Birds.
So, all right. So anyway, so we touched on the Sixers. Maxey killing it. The team. Let's look at the schedule. We got the what do we got? We got the Pacers. What in that is tomorrow night's game? Is that part of that in-season tournament?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think of that?
Stupid.
The money grabber. Who cares? Move on. Just play the games.
Yeah.
It does seem like these guys are playing a little bit harder at the beginning of the year than usual, though.
Well,
True.
I mean, like you said, bro. I mean, if you're only making, you know what I mean? Like if you're a player and you're making, say, I don't know, $1 million or 500,000, you know what I mean? Like if you're barely making any money, I mean, 500,000, that's a nice little chunk of change. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's a lot of money, right?
So
For sure.
but yeah, I mean, hey, let's keep it real. If the Sixers win that, it's not like we're going to Frankfurt and Cotman. You know what I mean?
We're not greasing the pole. Yeah. So it's just
cool.
It really is. But
All right, so let's see. All right, so we got Sixers. All right, so we got Sixers. Let's look at the
Pacers,
Sixers.
Celtics. Play the Celtics on Wednesday again.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Pacers, Celtics, and then Friday at the Hawks and Sunday at the Nets. So all right, so if the next 4 games, Sixers are 8-1. All right, so where are the Sixers at in the next 4?
I'm going to say 11-2. I think Boston gets that next one against us. They're going to be up for that one. Probably a little mad that we beat them that first one. So I'm going to say we go 3-1. Beat the Pacers, beat the Nets.
I'm going to say go 4-0. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, that's
bring it.
Wow. So Sean would have the Sixers like right around where they were when they were 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just feeling it. Come on, Boston. We're going to punch you in the mouth. Next. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's my thoughts. 4-0, baby.
Nice. What do you think, Joe?
So I don't want to sound like a party pooper here because they were playing great ball. I don't know. I'm just having a feeling as great as they're playing, just the fact you got back-to-back, you got Pacers and Celtics in back-to-back. I think they go 1-1 there.
Yeah.
And then the Sixers, maybe things will be different with Nick Nurse, but the Sixers always seem to have problems guarding Trae Young, you know what I mean, and guarding Atlanta. So I could see that possibly being a spot where the Sixers might lose. I see 2-2.
Okay, I could see that.
And then the other thing is too. I mean, on Sunday, the Sixers got a Sunday afternoon against Brooklyn. I mean, that's kind of a I think sometimes those afternoon afternoon games.
Yeah.
Could kind of come up and catch you somewhat. You know what I mean? Although I think Cam Thomas is out for Brooklyn though, so that's kind of a big that's a big loss for them. So we'll see what happens there. But no, I'm going to say 2-2. And hey, when you're 8-1, even if you drop a couple, that would be what, 10-3. I mean, if you told me coming into the season the Sixers were going to be 10-3 in the first 13, I would have signed up for that in a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be that good. But
right there, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Nick Nurse got these dudes playing. A lot of that's got to attribute to coaching and the good additions we made, like Oubre and Rocco and Batum, and then obviously Maxey and Embiid on something I seen online, Hoops something. They're ranked like 2 of the top 4 players in the NBA, rating wise.
Yeah, 1 and 6, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I think right now I think Tobias is like 17.
Right, Tobias balling. That Kelly Oubre loss. I hope
he's
I hope that don't hurt us too much.
I think, you know what? Just like Maxie said, with me getting 50, this ain't about me. It's about us as a team, and we want you to get well. And, you know, they sent a little video after the game for him. So I think this team, once again, back to Nick Nurse, with these players, they want to play for you. It's no eyeing team. You know, they're going to play their asses off for Oubre, even though, like you said, Diego, he's not there, which is
right.
It's pretty awesome because, you know, shows you the sportsmanship and, you know, the grind these guys have and like the confidence they have in each other.
I'll tell you what, Kelly Oubre is out for like 2 months. They win every game. He comes back. They start losing. I'm gonna run at Kelly Oubre over again.
Did you
break on that?
Did you guys see the they had the sketch? It was like it was so funny. They were joking around. They had the sketch and it was like a guy with a huge ass beard.
Wow. Oh,
yeah. Like James Harden?
Yeah, that was like exactly. Yeah, that was like the running joke that it was like a guy with a huge ass beard.
Yeah, I see one. It was like James Harden's like driving the BMW, and it was like the guy driving away from hitting James Harden, or from hitting Kelly Oubre, and it was like James Harden in the car.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, listen. I mean, you know, like I said, I got the Sixers going 2-2. I think you guys both said 3-1. So if that's the case,
no, Schultz at 4-0. Schultz at 4-0.
Oh, damn. All right. So Sean has the Sixers 12-1 after 13. All right. And you said what?
Yeah.
You said
3-1.
Right, so
I got them 11-2. 11-2.
All right. So either way, that's unreal. So, all right. Hey, and you know, I mean, you keep playing that type of level ball. You know, the sky's the limit for your team. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Especially with the depth. And then you look at possible trade deadline acquisitions. Yeah. You know, it's you know, I mean, hey, we'll see what kind of moves they can make. I mean, what are you thinking of? I mean, right now, I think Chicago's like 4-6, so they're not really playing bad enough to be ready to blow that up just yet. So it looks like, you know, as of right now, it looks like, you know, it's a little early for a Zach LaVine, you know, or a DeRozan. But you know, we'll see what happens as the year goes on. I mean, I'm hoping that Chicago like totally goes in the tank, you know.
Or does he go up to Toronto and kind of reach out to one of those players? You know, somebody that knows the system. I mean, we just don't know. But whatever they do, I think they're going to do it good and accordingly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. What do you guys think of like OG Anunoby? I mean, I know Diego and I were talking about that at work. I mean, that makes me I get a little concerned about him only for the simple fact that you know, he's a good player, but I don't see him as like, you know, I don't see him as being a max type player. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes me
But
nervous.
if you trade for him and give your assets away, you got to pay him.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did with Tobias Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to do that again.
Nah. I'm all for, like you said, hopefully we see the situation with the Bulls, DeRozan. You know, that's just me. I see him kind of like playing like Oubre, hopefully, but we don't know.
Well, if you go out and get LaVine, you ain't even got to worry about giving him a contract for 3 years. He's on the contract.
Yeah. And hopefully he fits into the system and plays some defense. Because like I said,
he's horrible at defense.
Exactly. I'm all about defense, you know, like the hustle, the grittiness. Perfect example, like you said earlier, Maxie. you don't even think he's going to pickpocket you, block you, rebound. And that's what he's all about. He's fitting into that system. So
Right.
let's go. I'm all for it. That's what I want. I want that grittiness, that pickpocket, get in your face. Sort of like old school basketball, but not,
Right.
So
Yep.
that's my
Yeah. So, but hey, well, that those will be discussions that we have in the coming weeks. As far as like, who they could possibly trade for. I mean, for right now, they're playing great ball just with just with the depth that they have, and hopefully losing Kelly Oubre won't be too bad of a loss. I mean, like you said, Diego. I mean, maybe 3 to 5 weeks. You know what I mean? Something like that, or 4 to 6 weeks, something with ribs. So the only thing that worries you a little bit about that is like, he was playing so good. So like, is he going to keep playing at that level? Because he has to get acclimated back to the lineup again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he has that look that he can get back to that status, and he's going to have the guys pick him up too, regardless,
Definitely. Yeah.
So
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, all right. Well, there'll be conversations for another day. Right now it's still, right now we're right in the heart of football season. Now, obviously, the Eagles didn't play yesterday. So the Eagles had the bye. 8-1 at the bye. But a lot of other teams did, including the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, went out there and played against, was it Tony DeVito, or what the hell's his name? I call him Danny DeVito. I mean, he plays like Danny DeVito, to be honest with you.
DeVito, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 86.1 quarterback rating. Let's just say this. He ain't getting any pasta from mommy, and mommy ain't making his bed anymore. All that shit on his own. Like you said earlier, what an ass whipping. That was Cowboys Super Bowl. So who the hell cares? Can't wait to play Dallas again, to hear the fans bitch and moan that we got lucky, this, yada, yada, yada. Bring it. So,
they gave him pretty much the same beatdown week 1 with Daniel Jones, didn't they?
Yeah. The Giants. Yeah, I was gonna say Dallas beat the Giants. Dallas beat the Giants 40-0 week 1, and then yesterday they won like whatever. I don't even. They were winning by so much.
49-7.
They smoked them.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to a little. Put it that way.
Right. Giants are a joke.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think they really are hitting themselves in the head for giving Daniel Jones, I think I was telling Joey, that contract. 2, you got your star running back, Saquon. When healthy, he's awesome. When injured, he's not. And, I think he's frustrated with the contract with that Danny Dimes got. And their O-line is just garbage. And then now their defense, they took kind of a hit, so good for them and better for us. So
how are they the only? They must have been like the only 6 guys in the whole entire world who thought Daniel Jones should get paid. Oh. The 6 dudes that pay for the Giants are the only people on this fucking face of this earth that were like, yeah, we should pay this guy. Because Cowboys fans, Washington fans, Eagles fans were cheering that shit on. When I seen the Giants sign Daniel Jones for 3 years, I was like, thank gosh. I'm hoping Dallas does the same thing with Dak.
Yeah.
Lock him up forever.
Like, what did they do right now? I mean, go into like say the season's over. With the they actually go and get a legit quarterback now that they have coming in Caleb Williams, Derek May, Bo Nix. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who they get or if they get anybody. But they're shot to shit.
What do you think about that dude, Caleb Williams?
he's a good quarterback, but as far as I'm concerned, you don't get the control where the hell you go, part ownership in the team. Nah, man. You got to prove yourself in the league before you can talk that talk and walk the walk. Nothing's going to be handed.
He don't even prove himself in college. He lost 3 games in a row.
Exactly. You got to show out and show in. You know what I mean? Show what you're worth. Is he a good quarterback? Hell yeah. But you just don't give these demands and my dad's going to say where I go, who gets me. Nah, I'm sorry. Nah, it ain't happening. And a lot of people questioned his manhood, crying in his mom's arms. I mean, it was a big game. Would I have done that? No, I would have went with my team and, picked myself up and dust myself back off and back to the drawing boards. None of that stuff. Because, social media loves that shit.
Right.
Mama's boy, crybaby. But it is what it is. But as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be interesting to see how this draft goes this season. So.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams, he's a great talent.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, the whole crying thing on the sideline, I question that. A lot of scouts are saying Drake May might actually be a better prospect. The kid from North Carolina is a hell of a prospect as well.
Yo, he is, and so is Bo Nix. Before you popped off, I was telling Diego, Bo Nix, Penix from Washington. I mean, I can go on and on. These guys got so much different intangibles. It's a nice quarterback class, I think. But, we'll see come draft time.
Yeah,
I question whether his NFL, like, I question whether he's going to be successful in the NFL, not because he cried to his mom. I mean, you cry to your mom, whatever. That's what it is. I mean, I know the cameras were on him, but that's not going to determine what kind of player you turn out to. I just think they love crowning these dudes before they actually get shown. You know what I mean? Like, this guy was already crowned by everyone on ESPN and on every network out there. When you turn the TV on, you're a college kid, and all you hear is, this the next Patrick Mahomes, this the next that, this the next that. You're going to obviously think you're that. But they're anointing this guy before he even goes to the NFL, kind of like Trevor Lawrence. And I think Trevor Lawrence borderline blows.
Oh, he showed it yesterday. You're absolutely right. It's just like look at the height with back to college football. Colorado, how are they doing? Deion's a good player / coach, but you're on a 6-game losing streak and you're letting these kids play. The kids are getting their jewelry stolen. Deion's son's getting his Rolls Royce booted. Come on, man. I mean.
You're going to see that every single year now with these NIL deals.
Yeah.
These kids are going to get flauntier and flauntier. You're going to see more kids wearing Rollies. You're going to see more kids driving Benzes and Bentleys and shit. Like, it's going to become the new norm. It's just not Deion's kid.
Connor, you're absolutely right. For example, before we move on to the next subject, Connor McCord from Ohio State, Mercedes-Benz said, you know what? Here's a Benz. We want you to be our face. There you go. The dude got a Benz. I know
crazy.
Don't have a. I know Joe don't have a Benz. I don't. I wish I could. Shit. Sign me up for the NIL. I've been more than happy to do it.
College football is going to get crazy over these next 10 years. They're going to be like pros.
Yeah, it's amazing too. And real quick, like back to it's guys don't like contact anymore. Like hit them. They shy away from it. But I mean, call me old school, whatever. But hit somebody and punch them in the mouth.
We're gonna be watching flag football soon.
Joey can tell you. I don't have to say no more.
I'll tell you a quarterback that's kind of coming on a little bit is Sam Howell of Washington. I mean, he I mean, I like his style of play, man. He's gritty, he's tough. Do you see him being that tough journeyman going from team to team, or do you actually see him staying with Washington? Rivera gets fired, the enemy gets reins of the team, hopefully, and they don't blackball.
and he could be that quarterback.
Tell you what, the kid, I think the kid's like one of the league leaders in passing yards. I mean,
Yeah.
not that that's necessarily everything, not that stats are necessarily everything, but I mean, just the eye test. I mean, I thought he played extremely well against Seattle yesterday. I mean, to be honest with you, like he made a couple nice plays. He made nice plays out of the pocket. He had Brian Robinson on a couple nice little like scramble drill type plays. I saw him hit McLaurin on a nice pass.
And
I mean, if I'm a Commanders fan, which by the way, any Commanders fans out there, make sure you check out Out of the Box Sports. They have a show called the Commanders Gridiron on Tuesday nights. Make sure you check them out. Any Commanders fan or a football fan in general, because it's a I mean, I like to learn learn stuff about other teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What were some of the other impressions from the games? I know the 49ers got right yesterday. I mean, like you said, Diego, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, when he came out, he was supposed to be like the next like Peyton Manning. To me, he's just he's a little above average quarterback in my eyes.
Well, that's all I was going to say about Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell's ceiling is somewhere around Kirk Cousins, Trevor Lawrence. That kind of ceiling. Make a play. But when you watch Sam Howell play, do you go, yeah, he's going to win a Super Bowl? I don't. I don't see that. I see a solid player, but I don't see like a over-the-top great quarterback. I think Sam Howell will have a career in the NFL. Do I think he'll have a great career in the NFL? No.
I see a serviceable quarterback, like a guy that
serviceable quarterback. Yeah. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a serviceable quarterback.
Yeah. Plain and simple. And
he never won a Super Bowl, though.
Nah. He might surprise you, but maybe not. Like you said, a team that surprised me was Texans, man, in Cincinnati. Wow, man.
CJ Stroud's a baller.
How about that? And also, just like Maurice said
about Dobbs.
Joshua Dobbs is sick
for a payday, and he was caught off guard. I was reading the article. I don't know if you guys seen it. I think he got the call about being traded on the phone, but the dude is balling out, and you lose your Kirk Cousins to an Achilles tendon injury, and this guy comes from via trade, and he's playing lights out, man. If he's not throwing it, he's running it, and I think once again, it's like the team is all for him. They're with him, but yeah, I mean. But the Texans, like you said, Diego, damn. From defense to offense, it's like, wow. CJ Stroud has taken such a big leap. It's not funny. And you don't even think he's a rookie, but he is.
He's sick. Now, see, when we talk about like how you were saying, what do you see in Sam Howell? See an all right quarterback. When I watched CJ Stroud play yesterday, I see like an all-pro quarterback. There's like a difference seeing these guys play.
Because the system he's in and the system he came from in college, I mean, yeah, they're game ready. They're game ready. I don't care what nobody says. From offense to defense, that's your one goal. When you get drafted, you're ready. You have no setbacks. You know what your work is. And
what team that continues to disappoint their fan, disappoint, I guess, if you're a Ravens fan, every time they play a big game, they lose. Lamar Jackson doesn't win big games.
Yeah,
he don't beat the better. He beats up on shitty teams, and then when he plays against Burrows and he plays against his Cleveland and when he plays against Mahomes, he's gonna take it out.
Yeah. I mean, look, and the one thing about the Ravens too, I mean. It happened last year, and I think the year before. I mean, the Ravens are known to blow leads. I mean, the Ravens blew 2 14-point leads yesterday. And you know what's ironic? The Pittsburgh Steelers have been outgained just about every single game.
Yeah.
And the Steelers are 6-3. If this coming week is an all AFC North, you got Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and then you got on Thursday. I was gonna say there's actually a good Thursday night game this week. You got Cincinnati and Baltimore, so that'll be interesting, man. And I'll tell you what, like we were talking about the Texans, like Cincinnati. It just goes to show you how this is such a it goes to show you how this is such a week to week league, and it also goes to show you how you hear on sports talk how like some people are like, oh, the Eagles are 8-1, but like they're struggling. Bottom line is the Eagles are 8-1, bro. Ravens lost. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What's his face? The 49ers had lost 3 straight. These teams lose. I was telling somebody yesterday. I heard this on the radio too. Now I'm not going there yet because New England was a dynasty. But people are kind of saying the Eagles are almost winning games kind of how New England did. Like, if you guys remember in that 20-some-year run in New England, they didn't blow everybody out. New England found ways to win close games, and that's kind of what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't mean he's all pro. I don't mean he's all pro this year, which actually with the numbers he's putting up, he might be. I just mean in the future, I feel like you see the talent of an all pro QB.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. The kid can play. I'll tell you what, too. I like D'Amico Ryans as a coach, man. I think D'Amico Ryans did a hell of a job. I like D'Amico Ryans as a player when he was here. I mean, to me, the guy looks like a natural leader. He's a great D coordinator in San Fran, and that's another thing. Now I know San Fran's defense looked better yesterday. Chase Young looks like he's made a difference. Chase Young had a good game yesterday. But San Fran's defense hasn't looked as good without D'Amico Ryans. Like that guy, Steve Wilkes, is not as, in my opinion, he's not as good of a coordinator. I think D'Amico Ryans was a hell of a coordinator.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Played the position. He knows what to expect from a defense. And when you have the player personnel, what they have, man, it's lights out. Like you said, 2 bookends, Joey. Chase Young, Bosa, and then the front is Hargraves, Randy Gregory. I mean, it's all about how you play the game and the players and all that. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, so we had the Ravens, the Bengals with a big loss. I mean, you look, the Bengals with 4 losses now. If Baltimore beats the Bengals next week, that's 5 losses. But in a tough AFC, the Bengals would almost have to run the table to make the playoffs because the AFC is a gauntlet. I mean, you look like right now, like we got Denver playing Buffalo tonight. I mean, if the season ended right now, Buffalo would be out of the playoffs. I mean, who would have thought that coming into the season? You know what I mean?
How about Detroit and Chargers, man? Them yesterday. Wow.
That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually
seeing Detroit play a game like that, where like they're getting the shootouts, we'll just run the ball, and we'll just keep the ball away from their offense, just like we all did all the way until the end of the year last year. We couldn't keep Mahomes or keep the ball away from Mahomes. We were scoring too fast in that game, but Detroit doesn't. Yeah. They're a nice team. I think their record's going to look better than what they actually are.
Yeah.
Well, they have an easy ass schedule. Like that's one really good thing about Dobbs playing so well for Minnesota. Because when Cousins went down, I was like, shit, Detroit's going to beat them twice. You know what I mean? But Dobbs is playing so well. Now I have hope. Okay, maybe Minnesota can beat Detroit. One of those games because we need Detroit to get a couple losses. I mean, Detroit only has 2 losses, and you look at that schedule. I mean. I was gonna say I don't see them losing to the Bears. I mean, I think the Bears stink. Green Bay, I'm not sold on Green Bay. I mean, maybe I don't know when they play in Lambeau. Maybe if they play in Lambeau in the freezing cold, maybe we could get a break there. I'm not sure, but I mean, last year it was freezing in Lambeau, and Detroit went there and beat them the last game of the year. So I don't know if that means shit. I mean, Detroit's just a better football team than Green Bay,
Right. Yeah.
Any other takeaways from yesterday before we wrap this up? We touched on San Fran, touched on Sam Howell, touched on Baltimore.
Your boy Zach Wilson.
Oh, Zach Wilson. Oh my God. Zach
Touch
Wilson.
on him? Touch on what? Fucking horrible.
Poor Garrett Wilson, dude. He could have had that, but you blame who?
How, you know, I'll tell you, if you're a member of that Jets defense, like how can you walk in that locker room and like know and know that you're busting your ass every Maurice has a comment here. He says Jets can't get it done. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know you're busting your ass every single game. I mean, you know, they're not giving up shit. You know what I mean? And in particular now, last night, Las Vegas. Last night, Vegas moved the ball a little bit at times, but the last Monday night was even worse. I mean, the Chargers didn't do shit. Like you saw, Justin Herbert looked like Dan Marino yesterday against Detroit. Justin Herbert couldn't do shit against that Jets defense, and it didn't matter because Zach Wilson is just so freaking. He's so shitty.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Nothing more to say.
Yeah, he's so bad.
And they said Aaron Rodgers, which is a positive. I think he does come back mid-December.
I could see it, but they might not be in the discussion, so they won't even bring him back.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. So he wants in. He feels it. So sit down, young buck, and let Papa Bear do it.
Yeah, got another comment. Maurice Wright says, unfortunately, this may be another year for the Jets to go for a franchise quarterback. They'll tank the rest of the season with another loss. Yeah, the only problem is, though, I mean, they've had such bad luck. I mean, or I'd almost be a little gun-shy about drafting a quarterback if I'm the Jets. I mean, how many, like first it was suck for Sam, then it was winless for Wilson, you know what I mean? And now it's like, you know, I mean, they almost have to just hope that Rodgers comes back next year, and then they take a 1 to 2 year window of opportunity to try to win a Super Bowl. You know,
True. Yeah.
But all right, so let's get ready to wrap this up here. Tonight's game, Denver and Buffalo. Thoughts on that? What, Diego? Do you have the line in front of you? Joey just took my phone. What was it? What was it? Buffalo was favored by what? 7 or 8? Did you see the line?
I think he's looking at it now.
Okay. Yeah.
Buffalo by 8. Buffalo -8.
Okay.
I'll take Buffalo on the points.
Okay. So you think Buffalo covers? All right.
Yeah, they smashed them tonight, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Buffalo. You know what? I like Denver. I like Denver plus the 8. As crazy as it. Russell Wilson hasn't been that shitty, and Buffalo. There's just something off about Buffalo. I mean, I think Buffalo wins the game, but there's just something off with Buffalo this year. They really don't impress me that much. Buffalo this year. I don't know. There's something off with them.
Yeah, I see something happening, like a mishaps with Bills. I see Denver kind of eking out a win.
Wow. Oh, you think Denver's going to win? Yeah. See, I don't see Denver winning. I could just see them maybe getting the Scribini at the end. You know what I mean? But
okay.
Okay. Oh, so you have Denver winning outright. Well, I'll tell you what. If Buffalo gets another loss, that's a major death knell into their playoff.
Yeah.
And, you know that's. Oh, you know what? One more takeaway from yesterday. The very first game. My, how the mighty have fallen. New England Patriots are a friggin' train wreck. I mean, is Bill Belichick's numbers? Is Bill Belichick's numbers? I mean, days numbered. I don't know. I think he's out of there after this year. Whether he leaves on his own terms, or maybe they work something out like behind the scenes.
I think he retires, and he'll go back being shirtless and leaving ladies' houses in the mid.
What do you think? What do you think, Diego? Because he's definitely lost his fastball.
He's lost it. I don't know. Does Kraft fire him, or does Kraft take it out and give him a couple more years?
I think that's it. I think that's a situation where he doesn't necessarily get quote unquote fired. I think they have because all he's done for that franchise. I think that's like a backroom conversation where they have him go, where they have him. It's kind of like a mutual decision where maybe Belichick just steps down because
Right.
I mean, Bill Belichick won how many Super Bowls there? I don't know if he wants to fire him. Bill Belichick. Most of these guys do get fired, but I don't think Belichick gets fired. I think that's like a save face type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're right about that. I think they let him go out on his terms. Not like Belichick's fired. Next coach, we're looking internal or external. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of like Don Shula was never fired, from what I remember. Like they didn't fire Don Shula. You know what I mean? Or even Tom Landry. I think when Jerry Jones took over that team, I don't think he quote unquote. Actually, you know what? He might have. Actually, he might have. I think he took.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, he did. He did.
But he took some shit for it. But I mean, his days were numbered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to do it behind the scenes, like you said.
See, I still think Belichick is a good coach. I think Belichick, the GM, has ruined Belichick, the coach. Belichick, the GM, has totally messed up like all those draft picks. I mean, they drafted shit, and Tom Brady cleaned that shit up. Tom Brady was like the great equalizer. I mean, he was winning games with lacrosse players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they kept winning. But now that you got Mac Jones playing quarterback and Zappy, I mean, and the thing, it's a shame because I don't think Mac Jones is that good. But in all fairness, too, I mean, he's throwing the like me and you out there. He's got like Mac Jones has wide receivers, except they're more like 7-Eleven Johns. You know what I mean? At least Wawa's better than 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? So
what do all great coaches have in common?
Big egos.
90% of them. Nah, great quarterbacks.
Oh yeah,
great coaches. 90% of great coaches, what they have in common is great quarterbacks. It's hard to be a good coach in this league without a quarterback. You're telling me every coach that gets fired because their quarterback sucks, they're the bad coach? Probably not. The quarterback sucks.
That's true.
And I think that's what's happened to Bill Belichick. He doesn't have a quarterback. I think Mac Jones blows. I think Zappy blows. I think Tom Brady left him, and he doesn't have a Tom Brady. Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay, wins a Super Bowl. Why? Because the quarterback's what's important to the coach, not the coach, really. That's
true, because I think Bruce Arians was a pretty good coach, but let's keep it real. Tom Brady made Bruce Arians a Super Bowl champion, not vice versa.
I mean, even like who's considered the best coach of all time? The guy from San Fran, Walsh?
He's up there. I mean, honestly, it might be Belichick or Lombardi, but Vince Lombardi, I mean, that was a totally different sport back then. I mean, they were running power sweeps with Paul,
that was different. That was different time, but Bill Walsh, you had Joe Montana, dude. You had Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. You could have gave Joe Montana and Jerry Rice to any coach, and they would have won 5 Super Bowls.
True. Yeah. So
to me, I think the coaches are more a product. They're more a product of their quarterback than vice versa.
True.
Yeah. So, here we go. Hang on one second. I got another comment here. Maurice Wright says Shula went undefeated. Yeah. Well, he's
in a 14-game season.
Hey, Belichick almost did it. What was that? What was that sign? 17-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Belichick won more games in a row now.
They each won 17. Miami was 17-0. So technically, they both were 17-0. It just Belichick lost the Super Bowl.
Gotcha.
So, but all right, fellas. Well, you know what? I mean, hey, we could debate this for days. Well, one last thing before we roll. Shout out to the Flyers. I know I'd like to talk a little bit more hockey in the upcoming shows, but right now it's football season and the Sixers are red hot. But shout out to the Flyers, though. They did. They lost to the worst team in hockey, but then they had 2 impressive wins in a row. I believe they beat Anaheim and they beat the LA Kings. So shout out to the Flyers. They're playing pretty good hockey. Tortorella, I think they got a good coach and they have some young talent. So so maybe the future is bright for the Flyers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, but hey, thanks for checking us out. And again, sorry for the technical difficulties, but we'll be back. We'll be back next week. And Next week will be a big show. It'll be a Eagles Chiefs preview, and also we'll wrap up the 4 Sixers games. But next week will be mostly we'll be pretty much all about the Eagles and Chiefs. So next
I
week will
bet.
be a nice little preview. So
Damn
go
straight.
go Sixers, go Flyers, go Birds, and